I was on mute. Oh my goodness. So embarrassing. This is James Pelton, and I am live here. Thank you guys for joining me. I decided this time to only go live on YouTube, not go live on Twitter and Facebook like I usually do. I want kind of everybody to hang out here in YouTube. And I actually got a new mic. So let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Like, you can't even do that on YouTube. Say you sound good. If the audio sounds good, if I start sounding robotic, let me know because I've been having some troubles. This is why I don't like to change anything. I like just low quality audio. I mean, it's one of the hallmarks of my channel is low quality audio. So, but I've had some people suggest I try a new mic, so I'm giving it a shot. So, yeah, if you're watching, go ahead and hit the like button. Let me know how I sound. I have not actually heard from the team yet, so that is unfortunate. So the team, it's on the calendar, but I have not heard from them yet. So hopefully they show up here shortly. But if not, I will still kind of talk through the project a little bit because I do think it's a neat project, and maybe I can have the team back on at another time. And then I'll do some just kind of general QA as we go. So, first off, welcome to Eric. It says sounds good. So awesome. Thank you so much. So let's go ahead and let's start by talking through the project that we're here to talk about. So realme property. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Get this up here. Share. And then, yeah, if you guys want to talk about some other things, we will bring up some other things as we go here. Hey, Doritos. Good to see you as well. Kind of fun, actually. Actually, I'll be honest, I get a little excited when my guests don't show up because I like doing just kind of general QA. Let's see. WMP says fake. You'll have to specify what do you mean fake? I'm not fake. I am real. This project, I believe, is real, although they did not show up. But you can see the team is fully doxed. So that's the first thing. So who is that? I'm supposed to talk to Agshat. I'm not very good at names. So maybe it's a good thing. Maybe now I can practice the name a little bit before they come. And Hamza was this other person. So these two people were who it was scheduled with. So the team is fully doxed. So you do like to see that. I mean, he's right on there, where he went to school and all these things. So no, I do not think that it is fake. Uh, Slash says, "Are you really real, James? I mean, really real?" I think so. Synthetic James. That would be kind of nice. I could scale. It's hard to scale when you're a YouTuber because you can't really have anyone else do it for you. I'm all about scaling. Like when I start businesses, I've started a lot of businesses. And whenever I start, the first thing is, hey, can I get myself out of the business so I can go start a new business? And YouTube is really the first job that I've had where there's no way for me to get out of it. It's just not possible because it's what it is. So Quentin says, "Yo, James, I went through the setup on the site. They KYC and all, but the site is clunky and very new." And I would like to talk about, some of you are asking about Voyager. If you guys didn't hear, Voyager's kind of collapsing and they've turned off withdrawals. And there's just a lot of drama around exchanges right now. So I will talk about that here in a minute. But I always like to start with the topic we're supposed to start with. Otherwise, people that came for that topic are disappointed. And if you didn't come for that topic, we can talk about other stuff here in a little bit. So I have not signed up with it. It just looks very interesting. So we'll have to have the team back on because I want to talk to the team before I invest in something like this. But you can start with $10. So there's not a big minimum, which I like. A lot of projects that are similar to this have very high minimums. And so it's like you have to start with $1,000 or something like that. So tokenized real estate starting at $10. Sign up to get started today. And I do want to show you the team is fully KYC. So that was the second thing that I really liked. I wanted to talk with them about what their AI tools do, what exactly they do, and can you use that for, like, I invest in real estate off chain, and so can I use their powerful AI tools off chain? Is that something that I can do? I wanted to talk with them about what exactly that means. It's on Ethereum. Don't like that because if you want to invest $10, you can't do it on Ethereum. It's not going to make sense. And Doritos says Coinbase just stopped withdrawal. Okay, I did not hear about that, but that would be big deal. That would not be good. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. So it's on the Ethereum blockchain. Buy and sell tokens. Track your investment. They have some advisors. Again, all KYC. Get started today. Create a free account. Let's just do this. I have not even created an account yet. Okay, so I'm learning with this along with you guys. Authenticate with Google. Oh, is it on Polygon? Okay, I thought it said Ethereum, but maybe it just meant like ERC20. Okay, well, Quentin says it's on Polygon, so that would be better. How is your experience in the crypto space? What would you guys say? I'd say I've got experience. Age group. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I am 34. Yearly salary. Hmm. Sorry, guys. I'll have to put that. Okay. Connect your wallet. That's kind of cool that they can create a wallet for you if you don't have one. Because that again, oh, I don't think I was connected to the right wallet. I have a lot of wallets. Let's see, we want main wallet. Connect. Okay, so they do have KYC, which again is something that you like to see. Start your verification. Doesn't seem too clunky to me right now. Enter your email address. Here you guys go. You can have my email address. This is my email address. Feel free to email me. I am way behind though. This is kind of fun. It's like having friends. Okay, let's see. There we go. Well done. Mike, no, I am not in my early 40s. I am 34 years old. My birthday is July 22nd, so I'm almost 35. I think I have to stop talking for this face recognition. Ah, there we go. This is kind of fun. It's like I have friends while I'm doing this. I mean, I do have friends, but they're just not usually with me in my office. I live in the United States. This is probably I don't know if I want to scan my driver's license with you guys watching. That seems like it here. I'm going to stop sharing for just a minute. I'm sorry. My trust does end. Uh I don't want my driver's license or passport actually on here. Mike, you're always complimenting me on my looks, and I appreciate that, man. I need that. Sometimes I think my good looks are wasted, since my channel is like 99% men that watch. So kind of feel like my good looks might be wasted here. In I don't have my driver's license with me. Bummer. Hold on one second. When you go live, where's my driver's license? Do I have my passport with me? All right. Can you guys hold on for 1 second while I grab my driver's? Wait, it's just right here. 1 second. What if this was like my most popular video of me just like messing around the whole time? Probably would be. I really enjoy hanging out with you guys. Let's see. How do I do this without you're gonna be able to see my driver's license if I do that? Hmm. This is a puzzle. I don't want to turn me off. How do I do this? How do I use my camera to scan my driver's license without you guys seeing? Austin says, "How is realme licensed legally? I don't like how vague they are within their FAQ." Yes, that was one of my questions I was going to ask. There is a fine line because if you are licensed legally, then people probably can't partake in this because like there's a lot of laws. Like SEC is very strict about accredited investors and things like that. So that was one concern I had is if it's licensed, you can use your phone to KYC. There you go. See, look at you guys. Let's see. Primary document, capture. I don't know. Cancel. Skip verification for now. That's what I'm going to do. I'll come back and do that later. Okay. But yeah, anyways, if you license for something like this, then people probably can't do it without verifying their accredited investor status and things like that. So there's like a fine line between licensing and being legit, but then also letting people do it. So that's kind of the beauty of crypto is if you're not licensed, people can still do it. Listings. So they only have one listing. Um, FKYC, Nicholas says. Yeah, that's right. Let me see. Did I miss some comments? Jesus loves straight and gay. I think regard. Yes, he does. That is very true. Mir says I'm a 34-year-old DGen too. Yeah, I'm actually. I think I'm old for the space. As I talk with people, yeah, there's only one property under listings, which actually, if they're just starting out, um, then that would make sense that there's only one. They kind of start with one, see how it goes. That's what I would do if I was doing my own project. I would start, small with one. So again, there's like you'd like to see maybe it be a little bit more established. Like, hey, we've done a few properties rather than like we're kind of the guinea pigs for what they're doing. Um, but oh, interesting. So they have some extensive terms and conditions. We're not used to signing that when we Felipe says it looks roach infested. Yeah, it's not the first place that I would choose to live, but okay. Quantity. Now I thought the you could do $10, but it looks like the minimum is $100. Am I wrong about that? See, this is why I like to have the team. Just make sure I'm doing it all right. $100. Do you guys think should I throw in $100? What do you guys think? I'm gonna vote. Leave it up to you guys. You want me to throw in $100 and see what it does, or you want me to save my money for something else? Doritos says 2 a.m. I did not want to miss this AMA. I appreciate it, Doritos. This is later than most of my AMAs. I like to usually do them earlier in the day, my time. But see, Quentin says go for it. I did. Oweb says no. Throw it in, of course. Throw in, man. YOLO. Yes. I do like I can just pay with my credit card. I'd rather just do that. Then I can leave my crypto for something else. They didn't show up. Save your money, JV says. That's a good point. But I like it when teams don't show up because, to be honest, sometimes I get tired of talking to teams and I'd rather just hear my own voice. Oh, wait, you guys. Ah! Hold on. Let me turn off the screen for a second. That was not my real credit card number, by the way. I'm going to get in big trouble with this screen share thing. Yeah, thank you. Probably gonna have to get a new card now after that. You didn't see the CVC code though, so not gonna do you a whole lot of good. Also, it's my BlockFi card, so it's probably about to be killed. Manesh says my first time in your AMA. Amazing. Okay, they're not usually this way. You might want to disable that card, bro. You know what? You're probably right. Okay, your token. I'll go back to sharing now. I'm not very cautious. That's one. Okay, so I have put in $100. So we will see. I don't know if there's a whole lot more to check out in here. I'll have to KYC, I assume, before I take anything out. I will try to get the team on when I can. Pull up their property address and let's look at the local neighborhood at comps versus what they say in their plans with the property. Yeah, Austin's the real estate expert. Maybe we should bring Austin on here live. This is realmetoken.com, and it's a way, they say starting at $10, but it's actually starting at $100. But you can buy shares in a home. This is the one I just bought because it's the only one that they had. I wonder what Zillow has to say about this place. Look when I type in Zion Finance. They rug pulled me earlier. For those of you who don't know. So let me type in this address: 157 Rutherford in Petersboro. What state? What state is it in? It doesn't say what state, does it? Yes, this is actually live, Ray. Definitely. That's why it's not going so well. I don't know. It doesn't say what state it's in, right? Am I missing something? Peterborough, is that the name of a city somewhere? Anybody live in Peterborough that's here? A cathedral city and unitary authority area in Cambridgeshire, England? Is that what we're looking at here? Is that what we're looking at? I think it's in England, guys. Zillow doesn't do England, does it? I don't even know how you type that in. Man, okay. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can find this. A lot of red flags, in my opinion. Yeah, not showing up for the AMA is is not a great look, but they don't have a Twitter either, which was because that's how I emailed them several times, but they did not have a Twitter, which I thought was very weird. This smells like Zion 2.0. Oh man. Oof. This is my favorite stream. It wouldn't surprise me if this ends up becoming my most popular stream. Like, watch me get 50,000 views on this. Okay, 157 Rutherford. Was that the okay? When I look it up on Google Maps, is this the same house? That's what. Where to go? Hmm. That's what it says. 157 Rutherford Avenue. Rutherford Avenue. This one's in Petersborough, Ontario, which is the right address, right? But it's definitely not the right house. So I don't know. I really don't know. Tello says told you to wait for AMA and then invest. I hope you didn't. I put in $100. It's worth it just for the laughs and giggles. We don't have homes like this in the UK. Yeah, no, it's in Canada, but I am confused because this is the address, and it actually looks like a similar house, like the same neighborhood. Maybe it's just redone. It's just redone, right? It's the same house. Am I wrong? Maybe they're flipping it. Maybe that's part of what they do is they flip houses. Could be. There is like, do you see that dog in the corner there in this? Well, there is no more house in the back. Is that true? Oh yeah. So, oh no, there's just trees covering it. Maybe this is from a long time ago. I have no idea what's going on. This is why we need to do AMA. Yeah, I would say if I was you, well, not if I was you. If I was in your position, I would not invest in this until we talk to the team and figure out what exactly is going on. Okay. That would be my advice. And this is financial advice. I would say wait to invest till we talk to the team. I put in $100. I will let you know how it goes. I don't think there's really anything more for us to check out. It's valued at $100, and we'll see after a while what it's worth, but that's my take. So there's realme token. Hopefully, we will bring in the team at some other time, and we'll talk more about it. Okay, that sound like a good plan. So now I want to shift over to whatever it is that you guys want to talk about. Okay, so we can talk about. Some of you have already brought up some questions, so yeah, we'll talk about those things. Uh, if my voice goes all robotic, let me know ASAP because this microphone's been having troubles. Jokes on us, it's actually an NFT. Yeah, that would be funny. The crypto apocalypse. So yeah, start bringing up your topics, and I'll start just at the top, and I'll try to stay up to date with the comments. But welcome if you're here. Please hit the like button if you like it. All right, so we're gonna start with Voyager freezing accounts. Are you getting coins off KuCoin? I am KuCoin. I'm hearing rumors that they might have some exposure to the backing of bad debt. So the first thing that I will. So yeah, Voyager is not allowing withdrawals right now. And one thing I'm learning is that I'm not actually a degen. Every single person in crypto is a degen. So by definition, like what's the definition of a degen? I want to define degen. I think it means like not normal, right? Define degenerate. Let's do that. Having lost the physical, mental, or moral qualities considered normal. Okay. So what I'm finding out is I'm not actually a degen because everybody in crypto is crazy looking for these crazy returns, and everybody's irresponsible. I'm finding out. So Voyager irresponsible, Coinbase irresponsible. Everybody's taking the funds that they're getting, and they're looking at the Bitcoin. I don't know why they do such risky things. Like this was obviously Bitcoin going down to 20K has always been a possibility, but they used people's money for leverage trading and all sorts of tomfoolery, just like banks have done in traditional finance. Like the reason we hit the 2008 problems, uh, they did the same thing. And then when the price goes down, they margin call. I actually just watched the movie Margin Call yesterday. Has anybody seen that movie? But it's a company that used too much leverage. It's kind of based on the 2008 crisis, but they use too much leverage, and then when the price goes to a certain level, they run into liquidity problems. And so, you know, that seems to be what happened with Voyager, and we don't know what other exchanges there are. So yes, I am taking all of my money off of exchanges. I'm taking everything off of KuCoin that I can, and I'd rather just keep it myself. Again, if we need decentralized finance right now. If they're gonna start blocking our withdrawals, so I'm taking everything off Binance, taking everything off KuCoin, and I'll just hold it in my wallets for now. So again, I would probably recommend that for you as well. So, if you guys want to talk more about that, happy to. Yeah, what's your opinion about Voyager collapse? Aren't you worried about KuCoin? I think KuCoin's probably safer than a lot of these places, but yes, I am concerned about KuCoin. So I'm not. I am taking my money off of KuCoin. What's your view on Yield Node's bonus deposit scheme? I don't know that it's a scheme. So for those of you who don't know, Yield Nodes made it so that if people do an emergency withdrawal, it's a 25% fee. Usually you have to wait like 30 days or so. If you request before a certain day, you get it the 8th of the next month, something like that. It's kind of confusing. But they have a thing, they've done this for a long time where you can do an emergency withdrawal for a 25% fee. And so uh, what they just added was that they have a list of everybody who has these 25% withdrawals. And if you want to deposit and there's anybody there who has a 25% fee, you can get a 20% discount on your deposit. And then Yield Notes takes the extra 5%. I think it's that way. I think it's 5% to them, 20% discount to you. So every time I check, there's nothing in there, but I think it might be a good way to get in to Yield Nodes if you want to with a 20% discount. So you can keep an eye on there. One concern I had is, are people going to wait to get in until that? Um, so yeah, we'll see. Let's see. I'll try to get through questions quick so I don't get too far behind. What do you do for taxes in DeFi stuff like Grape? How does that work? You know what I do for taxes? Um, First off, I filed an extension, okay? Because my accountant, and Scott, if you're watching, um, I'm I've been confident several times that he's going to fire me, because I've made his life very difficult. I come in and he's like, "So what income?" First off, I had a business that I sold, so he walked me through all of that, and then I started like crypto stuff, and he's like, "Okay, what income sources do we need to be aware of?" And I'm like, "Well, mining, staking, these things called nodes." And he's like, "Well, tell me about these nodes and all these things." Um, so I filed an extension. He wasn't totally sure how to handle my taxes. I will say a few things I'm doing tax strategy wise is I'm investing in a movie. So I've talked to a movie producer, and if you invest in movie investments are actually tax write-offs. So it's tax deductible if you invest in a movie. And so I'm putting some money into a movie to lower my tax bill, and I can't tell you what the movie is, but what can I say? It's starring Johnny Depp. Okay, I'll say that. And a lot of people want to stay away from Johnny Depp, but I think right now is the time you want to do a Johnny Depp movie. So I'm investing in that, and that's going to take care of a big chunk of my tax bill. Um, but I have filed an extension until September. So I'm not doing taxes for DeFi stuff like Grape right now. There are a lot of tax services. In fact, I have some AMAs with some of these companies coming up. Let me look at some of the companies that have approached me tax wise. There's actually a lot of them coming out. Let me see real quick. Basically what they do is they um, TaxBit is one of them. TaxBit. Basically, they scan your exchanges and then try to guess what your tax liability should be. Here's another thing I'd say: if anyone from the IRS is watching, feel free to correct me. Don't take my advice, but this is what I'm saying: is uh, if you do your best on your taxes, the crypto tax world is gray area left and right. No one knows what's going on. The IRS hasn't given any clarification or what you should do. If you do your best here's the company that one of the companies I'm doing an AMA with, TaxBit. But if you do your best to try and pay taxes, I do not think the IRS will come after you. Again, not financial advice, but that's talk to a tax guy. But that's just my take on it. Is they've not provided clarification of what you're supposed to do. So if you do your best, you try to pay something. Then like you use something like TaxBit or something like that, and they tell you, hey, you owe 5,000 or whatever. Then I think they'll be good with that. That's my take. It used to be on the Nebraska. I compare it to on the Nebraska state income tax form. The first question on the income tax form used to be, "How much did you spend online in the last year?" And then they just expected you. And then the next question was like, "Okay, you owe 7% on whatever number you put in that box." And that's how they did sales tax for online stuff. And they just expected people to just like calculate how much they spent on Amazon. Um, so yeah, here we go. Geo, let's see, GDA O minus. I run a business. We help entrepreneurs, crypto people included. We help them to optimize taxes, open bank accounts, and other legal matters. Yeah, if you want to post your details, that'd be great. Here's a guy. Here's the guy that I use for a lot of my crazy tax strategies. He's got crazy ideas. The way of base says I only lost money, so it doesn't matter much. That's true. And don't forget about your losses. If you have a tax bill, don't forget crypto might not be bad for you. It might help your maybe not 2021. I Most people didn't have a lot of losses in 2021, but yeah, 2022 probably will be helpful. France Faultier says maybe do another AMA with Steve from Yield Notes. I'm going to do one in German, but there should be one in English. Yes, and it's confirmed. I'm flying out to Malta from the 17th to the 21st. Going to grab dinner with Steve and the team and audit them. And I don't exactly know. I'm going to actually ask for some feedback, not right now, but I'm going to ask for, hey, like what do you think I should be looking for? My main thing is this a Ponzi scheme? Is there Ponzi involved, or is it all revenue that's coming in? Let's see. I clicked the link of this AMA because you mentioned we can speak about whatever else. So my question is, what is your background? How did you start your crypto journey? So great question. So I'm a software developer, and I did software development for a bunch of companies. I ran e-commerce for some companies. And then I actually wrote some software that sends out mass text messages, mobile text alerts. So I built this site. Well, they've redesigned it since then, but I wrote the software that sends out mass text messages. So basically, like your spam text messages that you get, that's a work of me. So there you go. Um, Yes, and so I built that. We grew it. I grew it. I've ended up with like 11 employees or so, and then I sold that in 2020. So then I just had a chunk of money sitting around, and so I started investing with just an index fund. I thought all you could do with your money was like you put it in an index fund, but then I was super bored. Actually, index funds, 7% a year is actually not super fun. So I started looking at other investments, and Justin Donald. I don't know if any of you have heard of him, but he's been super influential in me. I read his book, The Lifestyle Investor, just about basically different ways you can use your money. And he kind of got me started into real estate a little bit, and he got me started into like private um, business debt and things like that, and some like medicinal marijuana. Was given about 20% returns on uh, yearly, not monthly, like we're used to in DeFi sometimes. 20% returns. And so that's kind of where I started. And then found crypto. Strong was kind of my first thing. And I tested it out a little bit first. And I was like, man, I'm getting 25% a month returns on this. Um, so then I jumped into crypto. My wife got tired of me talking about it, and so I started the YouTube channel, and the rest is kind of history. So yeah, check out Justin Donald. Is Lifestyle Investor is great book. Um, yeah, it's book that book was pretty life changing just with how handled money and stuff. So and Slash says thanks for the spam text. You are very welcome. My contribution to society. Spam texts. Any update news on BTC proxy? And no, I've actually surprisingly, I've not heard much from them. And I wonder, they were big partners with because I think Celsius was one of their partners. I noticed that uh, this was 115%, so it's down to 60%. So you like to see that going down. I don't know that I have not heard much from them. It's been fairly quiet. So um, they still have 10 million locked. So I still have some Bitcoin with them. And again, that's just some Bitcoin that I'm probably not going to be thinking about too much. But no, I have not heard from them. How much elephant did you buy already? DCAing daily? Not daily, but I am DCAing. And again, if you haven't seen the elephant chart, let's see, bring up elephant here. Yeah, and thank you. Was it you who had me bring up the comparing it to BNB, which is super helpful because when you're looking at it in USD, you're not going to be able to see how well it's doing compared to the rest of the market. Like this chart doesn't look super good, right? But if you consider crypto in general, like if you compare it to BNB, like the market in general, Elephant's actually doing really well. It might have been you, Jita, who said to point to that, but that was helpful. And then again, this is another thing that I'm really looking at is you notice in the last 24 hours, 100 buys, 27 sells. So when I'm looking at our projects dead, that's kind of what I look at. If they're like, let's find a project. This might be dangerous, but let's look at. Do I have strong on here? Let's look at a project that's not doing well. Well, obviously, Ring. Um, if I have anything here, I can quickly look at that's not doing well. Okay, we'll look at. Um, let's look at Emerald. Okay, I don't think they're doing particularly well. I do like Emerald, but they're not doing particularly well. So like look today. First off, no volume is not necessarily what you want to see, but 5 buys and 15 sells is not really what you want to see. So this is the chart in USD. This is the chart in AVAX. So this is a chart that when you look at it in USD, it actually doesn't look that bad. It's like, oh yeah, it's going up, it's going down. But when you compare to just AVAX, you can see this is not going well. So I'm not DCAing daily into Elephant, but I am buying more. Yeah, I don't want to show up. Yes, the people who for the AMA did not show up. I did talk about their project at the beginning, but it's not. It's now just an AMA to me for whatever. How are you posting on Twitter while doing this? How many arms do you have? So I do. First off, I have a social media team, and if you didn't know, I do have an Instagram account that I never check, but my team is doing stuff with it. And I have a TikTok as well. So if you don't mind going and following me on Instagram and TikTok, what my social media team does is they just take parts of my video and go post it on Instagram and post it on TikTok. And also, I have a podcast too, podcasts, but it's just my videos basically kind of transferred over there. So yeah, go check those out. But they also post on Twitter sometimes. Also, when I have a lot of there's times when I sit down. Okay, it's when I go to the bathroom. I'll be honest. When I go to the bathroom, I have a lot of thoughts about like economy and finances and like how I can help people and all sorts of things like that. One thing that I really, really want to do is I want to help people. And so I spend a lot of time thinking about what would be most helpful for people that are watching me. And when a thought pops into my mind, then I want to tweet it. But I found that then when I was going to the bathroom, I'd have like 50 tweets all in a row when I was going to the bathroom. So now what I do is I schedule them out through the day. So like if I have 50 thoughts during my bathroom break, I might schedule them one an hour. So that's why it's tweeting while I'm on here. Can you show your YouTube revenue? Hold on. I will get to a lot of these questions. I want to kind of try to go in order so I don't miss some of them. Let's see. So we talked about VTC proxy. Good call. Go get a ledger. Yes. Ledger. I actually like the Trezor a little bit better. But yeah, get a hardware wallet. I would like to know about nodes and investments in it. If you're talking about real nodes, DAG is doing their soft staking here for first through the third. So yeah, go look at that. I don't recommend a lot of the other node projects right now. Grape actually is one of the only nodes that and EMP too have nodes that I would recommend. Still above peg. Grape is incredible. I don't it blows my mind. But they have these nodes that are getting very good returns. So if you're going to do nodes, these are not really nodes. They just use the word node to kind of like, I don't know, kind of like explain what they're doing. But any of these nodes are going to get pretty decent. Well, wine nodes are not doing well right now. But yeah, the grape nodes, the grape mim swapsicle, like those are supposed to be pegged to each other. So this would be a node. Grape walrus. One problem I had with this one was that you're relying on two protocols doing well. So you're relying on grape keeping peg and walrus keeping peg, which walrus is doing really well also. I don't know if I don't really talk that much about that one because I kind of felt like if I'm in grape, why get into walrus also? Was kind of my thinking on it. They're kind of related projects too, but that's kind of how I thought about it. So I'm actually not in frozen walrus. But if the team wants to reach out to me, I'd be happy to do an AMA, and maybe I'll get in at some point um, just to continue to diversify. But yeah, those are the nodes. You know, and EMP has the same thing. They have nodes which you could get into also. How's Peg doing today? Still not. I'd like to see us getting closer to Peg. If you have EMP, don't sell it, please. Can we hold our cryptocurrency on our MetaMask wallet if we do not have a hardware wallet, or is that not safe as well? It's not as safe, but it's better than keeping it on an exchange. So yeah, it's better to keep it in MetaMask on a wallet than it is to um, keep it on KuCoin or Binance. I definitely, if it was me, like some of those, like BlockFi, Coinbase, I would not keep anything there. In my opinion, I'd love to invest in a James Pelton Kadena NFT. Yes, I do have plans on it. I just have a lot of other plans that have to kind of taken over. Let me. One thing I've been working on. I'll show you guys. Sneak peek. Um, this is not really for you guys necessarily, but I'm working on a training course for one thing that we need to do and that I want to do. I have a lot of people who watch my videos and they're like, it made no, like my parents. They watch my video and they're like, hey, that made absolutely no sense. I don't know what a tomb fork is. I don't even know what a wallet is. I don't know anything. So I've been working on a training course that is to help people get into crypto, and so I'm working on this. It's teaching what is cryptocurrency. It's going to talk about what is the blockchain and things like that. How does crypto fit into your portfolio? How do you create an account on Binance? How do you add fiat? How do you purchase? How do you secure? How do you get started in DeFi? And it gets them ready for my channel. So I've been working on that. And so that's put a lot of other things on hold. So there are other projects that do. What is the one that I was looking at? I have an AMA coming up. They just partnered with Hive, I believe, Kadena hashing or something like that. But they're doing that. They're letting you buy kadenahashing.kda. Here's this. But they allow you to buy NFTs that are KDA miners. So you can check them out. Here's their Twitter. I'm doing a AMA with them coming up. So, but yes, not for now. Let's see. Walrus is newer and has a higher APR. Yeah, so that's usually true when you have when you're newer, when your TVL is lower, your APR will be higher. So there is advantages to getting in earlier for sure. It's sometimes you just don't know. Um, and I will get to your question, Nicholas. It's next on my, it's a couple down in my list, but I will get to it. Um, but sometimes you don't know the community. Like I know the grape community is more about keeping peg than taking profits. And I'm not totally sold on the frozen walrus community yet. So that's why I've been sticking with grape for now. Let's see. If you are going to Malta, you can interview CZ at this point. Ambitious? CZ. What is CZ? Tello. Not totally sure what you mean by CZ, but yes, I'm going to interview yield nodes there. Steve and the team there is why I'm going. They're paying for some of it, not all of it. But yes, can you talk? Can you chart and talk about horde nodes? Yes. So I'll talk about horde, and so what they're doing. If you haven't looked at their chart, they are using this liquidity management service that basically. Let me get this chart. It doesn't matter what the chart's in necessarily. So this is in BUSD, and so what they're doing is whenever the price gets above whatever number they set, which I think it's set at like 105 maybe right now, then they buy a bunch of horde tokens, and whenever it gets below like 95 or whatever constraints they set, they buy to keep the price up. So they sell when it gets too high and they buy when it gets too low. So they basically have created a stable coin. Now, there's a few things about Horde that I really like. First off, I really like that they have low returns. And second off, I really like that the returns end at a certain point. Those are two things that make your protocol more stable. I do not like lifetime rewards. It's a terrible idea. Lifetime rewards is a terrible idea. Um, very bad. Very, very bad idea. Um, Sorry, I'm reading the comments. I really cannot multitask. I can't look at comments and talk. I don't know. It's not one of my powers. I have to stay focused. So I really like that they don't have lifetime rewards. They have lower returns. They call it an LMS, liquidity management service. What that does is it really provides a longer runway. So instead of the token, what happens with a lot of tokens, like have it in here. Let's use Let's use Cubo. Okay, we'll use them as an example. I do actually. I like Cubo. I like Bruno. But let's look at what happened to Cubo Coin. Okay, this is what normally happens with most node projects. Is as people buy initially when there's a lot of hype or whatever, and there's not a lot of sellers at the beginning either, right? Because if you have buyers here in the beginning and it takes them a while to get their returns, then there's not a lot of sellers here in this beginning phase. So what happens with these node projects is at the beginning they peak, but then as people start selling, then it crashes. And as it crashes, people kind of lose hope in the project. Like if you're looking at a chart that looks like this, nobody buys charts that look like this. So what Horde has done is they don't allow the chart to look like this. They say, hey, when it gets up, we're going to sell and the chart's going to always be straight here. And so what that does is all these gains that like Cubo had, instead of Horde allowing those gains, they use it as protection for when the price ever gets lower than launch price, they can buy. So it basically makes the chart, like just a way longer runway on their token. Now, and if anybody from the Horde team is watching, I've been hesitant to say this because it's just my thoughts. Um, I am concerned by like this 233 buys, 714 sells. Will this be able? I know they've increased the runway with their LMS, but is it forever? Okay, is it going to last forever? Now they do have a revenue stream now. This LMS that they created that keeps the price stable, they've started selling that to other people. So that is a revenue stream for Horde. So it's hard to tell. If they did not have a revenue stream, I do not think they could keep the chart looking like this forever. with the buys and sells looking this way. Like there's no way that, I mean, they don't have another revenue stream. So if there's more buys than there if there's more sells than there are buys, eventually you're going to run out of liquidity. This is what happened to Aleph. If you guys aren't familiar with Aleph, Aleph's chart looked really good. They were doing a similar LMS type thing. I can't even see it anymore because I think maybe the token's gone or whatever. But they were doing a similar thing. Their price was very steady, but they ran out of liquidity. So you have to keep an eye on liquidity. See, Horde still has a lot of liquidity. They have over $1 million in liquidity. If you start to see this go out of whack, like way more sells than buys, and you see that liquidity number going down, then they're going to be in big trouble. Okay, and that's what happened with Aleph. Is their chart was good, their liquidity kept going down, it was getting drained, and then eventually they saw the writing on the wall. Hey, we're going to fail. Like nobody's buying. We're in a terrible market right now. Nobody's buying. We got to pull the plug, is what Aleph decided to do. So keep an eye on the liquidity there for Horde. But we're 100 days in and looking pretty good. They have a revenue stream with these LMS. I think every protocol, every node type protocol should do an LMS. I think you shouldn't want these are not good for the protocol. These are not good for anybody in a node project. You don't want to see spikes like that because nobody can buy up here without, I mean, it's inevitable you're going to lose. So yeah. I talked too long about that. I missed a bunch of comments. Oh, CZ is the CEO of Binance. Gotcha. Yeah, I can reach out, but it's hard to get through to people like that. Of like, yeah, how are you? Where are you keeping your DAG? Yes, Stargazer wallet. Yep, that's where you put it. Let's see. He's talked about Horde nodes. What about Trunk Peg? So yeah, so if you go to Elephant, I talked about this in the AMA with BT, which yeah, that was kind of a painful little bit of a painful AMA, I might say. I've had a few of those where they just did not AMAs did not go very well. So what people are concerned about is this peg down here. This is just a peg on Pancake Swap. So for example, I have 22,000 bucks in trunk that I know I cannot redeem for a long time, and so what I could do, and what I may do, is go sell my trunk, my $2,000 of trunk at a 0.27 on Pancake Swap. What that's going to do is it's going to lower the peg. This is just the peg on Pancake Swap. It really doesn't matter if you redeem here, you get your full amount. It just takes a really long time. So I'm not super interested in trunk right now. I don't think that's a win, but I do think elephant. Um, for now, this has been a pretty good chart. Again, I showed that chart earlier, but I think that's the play with elephant right now. Is buy elephant, so not trunk, because yeah, you're not going to probably be able to get your BUSD. But again, this is what we're looking at: 100 buys, 28 sells today. That's what you like to see. And the chart, when you're just looking at the market, that's a good chart. I think Keith would probably chart that as an uptrend here. I could try to chart it the way he did, but also I forgot to ask him about. Whoa, look at that! Somebody just buy a bunch. I don't know, but I did forget to ask him about reflection tokens if he thought that changed charts, but I don't know. Thor, yeah, I don't have a lot of hope. I'm not paying my. I'd have to go look up the contract address. I'm not paying the I can't even think of what it's called. The maintenance fees. Yeah, I didn't think the maintenance fees were worth it. They do have this Gods of Asgard game, which actually looks pretty good. I'm supposed to demo the game here soon. Um, but yeah, I buy DAG on KuCoin with the DCA bot. Is it better to transfer it to the Stargazer wallet? So Keith convinced me um, to not DCA anymore. I really cannot do I have like a really hard time focusing. Maybe it's too I took pre-workout. I went to the gym. Can you tell? Getting swole. Um, but yeah, he convinced me to not DCA, but to check the charts and actually see if we're on an uptrend before buying. So I'm going to start doing that. I have enough DAG for a node. I think I have 300K DAG. But yeah, I have it all moved to the Stargazer wallet. because that's where you soft stake it from anyways when you're ready to note it. So, and I don't want to keep it on KuCoin just in case I can't get it out. Okay, I'll ask Nicholas. He's asked several times. Look into investing in Island Project from AMTV launches 4th of July. I have not heard of it, but yeah, if you post the link, I will check it out for sure. I'm not totally sure. Let's see. What are your thoughts on Goldbridge? Okay, so um, I met with. Let's see. How much of this am I supposed to share? I don't know. Is Crypto Mike and Jonathan are not watching right now? Are they? They won't know what I say and what I don't say. I love Goldbridge, and I'm going to put in. Say this. Yeah, I'm putting in 100K into Goldbridge. Okay, I don't know that you can get in right now. Yeah, it's locked for now. I'm not sure when they will open it back up. But I'm putting 100K in. This is it's they trade gold, so they don't trade crypto. And I've wanted to kind of get out of like I want to spread out. I have a lot of money in crypto, right? Like 800K or something like that. So I'm wanting to kind of bridge out a little bit more. These are the returns that this gold trading has done. It doesn't trade on the weekends because it's not crypto, but you can see, and it's actually they have more returns than this. They have historic returns that go back further, but it's never had a red day. It's done. I mean, some days it does, does just a little bit. But yeah, so I'm putting 100K into Goldbridge. So that's my thoughts on it. When the sacrifice opens back up, they actually asked me to not make a video on it because it doesn't need new capital and there's a limited number of spots. And so it's like, yeah, you could do an AMA or you could do a video on it, and then all these people try to get in and they can't get in. But I'll keep you updated when this will be open again and how you might be able to get involved in that. Let's see. Can you show your YouTube revenue? Yes, YouTube does not make you very much money. I don't know if you guys realize this. Some people think that YouTubers clean up, but first off, I'll say that numbers have been way down. Um, Numbers have been way down as the market has been crashed. So I'll just show you. Just be real up front. Numbers have been way down since like there's not a lot of new people coming into DeFi right now, right? So actually, one thing I want to do on my channel, maybe, but my last video was on EMP, but maybe get out of DeFi into like, yeah, bridging people into crypto, things like that. But you can see I made 1,200 bucks in the last 28 days off YouTube. So people think YouTubers clean up. That's not true. Especially there have been months I've made like 3K or maybe almost 4K when um, 4K at one point from YouTube, but views are way down. I'm only getting like 30 new subscribers a day because there's just not a lot of interest in DeFi, not a lot of new people coming in. And JB says, can you get into Goldbridge? You can get into Goldbridge through Hydro Whales. Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. If you want to get into Goldbridge, I'm already got in. But yeah, if you want to get in, go check out Hydro Whales. Check their Discord. There might still be a way to get in. So JB, thank you. That's why JB, you are man. If I needed a mod to do something, JB would be the guy. Are you still keen on Golden Society? I like their insurance. So here's something that I tweeted about this today. I like their insurance um, thing that they're doing. If the numbers work, I still am kind of waiting to hear about this. So they're doing an insurance thing where they are basically you can pay a certain amount and then it protects you from rug pulls and losing money and things like that. Um, so yeah, okay, yeah, let's stay focused, not ADD. It's definitely the pre-workout. The pre-workout like makes me all zany. Um, so they're doing this insurance thing. I really like that. One thing I tweeted today is that I'm starting to get a little tired, not Golden Society in particular, but of projects that say we have revenue streams in the future. Okay. I'm getting a little tired of that because what happened, like Strong's been talking about um, Strong Chain and a revenue stream for like 8 months now. We've just been waiting. Meanwhile, the Strong token is at like $2 now. Okay. And so I'm kind of over if someone says we're building, if I hear that present participle, perfect tense, is that what it is? I'm not a grammar guy, but that present perfect participle building instead of past tense built, then I'm kind of not super interested. It's like, I don't care what you're building. What have you built? That's what I'm investing in because I don't have time to wait for your token might be crashed. So that's kind of my take with all these new revenue streams that are coming out. I'm just skeptical because it's like, well, when are they going to come out? Financial musings from the bathroom with James Pelton. Yeah, I do have a lot of them. Like it's crazy when I'm in there. Like, I don't know if it's something about it clears my mind and all these like ideas and thoughts come to mind. I have a lot of ideas for new businesses. Um, a lot of them. Like, I have a marker board over here with like 17 ideas for new businesses. I'll fill you guys in on some things that I am doing. So I want to be more involved in Sleep Money Club. So if you guys don't know, that's kind of Andy and Colin's big thing is Sleep Money Club. It's a paid Discord group that they're a part of, and I have my own channel in it. I'm not super involved in the community as a whole, and I want to be more involved. Like, I want to help people. It's hard on YouTube because you're sending out advice to 50,000 people or whatever. I want to start like helping people more one on one and like get to where they're at. I want to help young men in particular just with different things. There's a lot, young men have a lot of struggles wanting to get rich, financial struggles. There's a lot of pressures on young men. And I just kind of want to help all around rather than just DeFi crypto. So check out Data Streamer, real node, easy setup, regular laptop can run. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I will check that out. What is your opinion on FWT superchargers? Staking with 43% APY getting paid in stable coins, Ethereum or BTC. I love Freeway. So I have two AMAs coming up with them. I'm going to do a Twitter Spaces with them, and I'm also going to do a video with their founder. So I'm very, very excited about that. But yeah, go check out Freeway. I really like it. I like what they're doing and really like it. And yeah, if I miss your question, feel free to ask again and I'll do it. We do have a stable fund AMA coming up. Yep. So thank you guys for pointing me to them. Definitely that's coming up. How is your Amazon store doing? Let me pull up some numbers for you. So for my Amazon store, I paid $16,000 to have. Basically, they do everything. Okay, they do every single thing. I don't do anything for my Amazon store. It was a lot of work getting it set up. I did have to do a lot for that, like getting an LLC set up and getting it set up the right way, and it was just a big hassle. It took probably like 2 months for me to start selling. Let's see, they sent me numbers of how it's doing. And then you need a lot of capital kind of in the background because you're basically you're buying things and then selling them, but they sit in inventory for a while. Let me see if I can find my numbers. Okay. So here are my weekly. It's called Pelton Commerce because I am not at all clever when it comes to naming things. People are always like on Furio and Ooze. They were like, "Hey, what do you want to name your team?" I'm like, "Team James Pelton." So you can see this. So it's been going for, let's see, I think I paid them the 16K like in September, and it took till probably like January before I started anything. So it's probably been going for 6 months, and I have like $30,000 in inventory. So you kind of have to have that capital um, sitting away, which is kind of a bummer because not everyone. So you don't have to have that much. You can do lower. Like, you can tell them what limit you want. Like, I want 5K limit in inventory, um, basically. So this is my total sales in 6 months. Now, I would say like we didn't really get going till like March. So I'd say March, April, May, June. So maybe about 1K. So yeah, here's the last 30 days. It's sold 15K or 1500. Profit is just now positive. Um, so I spent 6K for my inventory this week. So you need quite a bit of capital to do it. All in all, it's been a pretty negative experience for me, I would say. I don't know that I would recommend it to people, but it's another revenue stream, and it's a real one. I think even when the markets are down, Amazon stores will still do well, and it's kind of a long-term play. So, let's see. Freeway versus yield nodes. Yield nodes higher return, riskier. Freeway safer, lower returns. I would say. Freeway will be regulated in the U.S. someday. I believe so. There seems to be evidence that strong node and strong change is a scam. At this point, it wouldn't surprise me. They've been jerking us around. Is that inappropriate to say? I don't know. They've been leading us on for long enough, and I'm kind of tired of it. So I'm not going to pay my maintenance fees on strong node. I've given up on it. I have 45 nodes, I think, and I'm just calling it a loss. The company that I use is called Optimize. Let's see, Optimize Digital. Let me see if I can find their website. Optimize. I haven't had a super great experience with them. We had some conflict. Like I actually started an Amazon and a Walmart store with them, and Walmart shut it down. Um, and then we disagreed on how to handle Walmart shutting down. They're like, "Well, we'll just give you another Amazon store." I'm like, "I don't want another Amazon store. I'd like a refund." And then they wouldn't do it. I had to actually get a lawyer involved. Um, so, yeah. But that is the company, Optimize Digital. Let's see. Did you understand the reason why Keith thought yield nodes is doing shady things? Yes. So with yield nodes, there's no way to tell how much of it is revenue and how much of it is um, Ponzi nomics. Okay, they lock your funds for 6 months, which is if you're revenue based, you don't usually lock funds. That's more of a Ponzi thing to do. So that's one, kind of like interesting thing. And then they're big on their referral system, which is another kind of, Ponzi-ish thing to do. And so there's just not, and that's why I want to go out there and audit them. And so I did audit their coins, and actually, yeah, my video, you can see it's possible for them to make the returns that they're talking about. But what some people think they're doing is um they they buy up a lot of the coins that they masternode for. And then some people are wondering why some of their coins are doing so well while the rest of the market is crashing. And so some people think that they are manipulating their own coins, like Sapphire is kind of their big one. Some people think that they're manipulating their own coin and that it's all just a Ponzi scheme at the end. Um, which, even that, like, I think Keith is more principled than I am. Which I had to actually think a lot about that. Like he's like, if it's a Ponzi scheme, I don't want in it at all. Here's my video on it. Um, for me, even if it's a Ponzi scheme, I'm like, oh, I'm okay being in on it. And I need to think about that ethically and morally, especially as a Christian, especially if I'm telling other people to like, showing it to them. I have to really think through that. But I like a lot of stuff I'm in, I know is, Ponzi nomics ish, and I'm just okay with it. Um, so I don't know. JB says Drew has a 6-month timetable on yield nodes. Can you tell me what you mean by that? Timetable on what? He said at least 6 months. He didn't say it's over in 6 months. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of what that's how I'm looking at yield nodes. Is if you look ahead 5 years, I don't know. I don't know how any of their tokens are going to be in 5 years. I don't know that it's still going to be available. Um, but I think for the next 6 months, yeah, that's what I would agree. Yep, yep, exactly. I agree with Drew on that. I think if you look forward 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, yield nodes will be okay. You can get your initial out in 6 months, and so I feel okay after that. Yeah, they're all Ponzi's. So what? That's kind of what it's hard. Um, it's hard. Everything has a little bit of Ponzi mixed in with it. So let's see. Slash says, I appreciate how many charts you're looking at and sharing now. Inspired by Keith. Yes, I actually was very inspired by Keith. I want to keep learning. I want to. I've been I feel a little bit lazy because I've seen people with TA and like Jiraiya has been really successful with his TA and Keith's been successful with TA. And I know it, but I've just like, it seems like such a daunting thing to get into. Like I know nothing about it. And so like the idea of getting into it um, just seems like so much. Hold on a sec. And so I've been like, now I'll leave TA to other people, but now I want to get in more. So I want to just learn. I'm going to spend 30 minutes a day learning TA, practicing a little bit. And if nothing else, I wanted to just like, so I believe in DAG 100%. I believe in BioFi. Actually, that's one thing I want to say before I forget. Um, I'm actually going to be, um, I'm going to be joining the BioFi team um, to help them with their marketing. So I'm very excited about that for sure. But anyway, so I'm going to spend 30 minutes a day looking at TA. And then instead of just DCAing the DAG and BioFi like I've been doing, I'm going to actually check the charts and look for buy signals. Now, I don't know if I'm going to sell when it looks like a sell time. Because I want to accumulate more. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard to know exactly. JB, take it easy, brother. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate you all the time. So. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's keep spamming. If I miss it, keep spamming. I'm not sure what I missed or not. Um, Mr. C, I'm not sure which email. I am way behind on my emails. Um, let's see, how far back am I on my email? So the last, let's see. I think I'm June 20th is so I'm about 10 days behind on my emails. You can shoot me a DM on well, Twitter is a little better, but I will catch up here sometime. How is Novatech doing? That's a great question. Let's just check it together. I put in 2,500 bucks. Novatech, I believe I have a referral. I have a spreadsheet with all my referral links. Um, and referral links are a tricky thing. Some people are like, don't use referral links, but it's like, why would I not? Like if I'm telling people about it, why would I not use a referral link? It's not even the right website. But let me see how my Novatech is doing. I think I'm trying to get there in touch with their founder to do an AMA with them as well. Honestly, I've not checked this since I put in the 2,500 bucks. I messed up that captcha. It's embarrassing. All the pressure of you guys watching me. It's too much pressure. But I'm not checked since I put in the 2,500, so I'm not even totally sure. Okay, nice. I'm not even sure how I check how it's doing. Oh, they need to fix this. Like, I don't know what's going on. How do I check how much money? My e-wallet? Log into e-wallet? Does anybody know how I check how much is in there? Um, okay, so 2,700 bonus account. So maybe 110 is from referrals, and then that would leave like 100 that I've made. Does that sound right? Something like that. I don't really know. I'll have to look through this. I think it's making about 3% a week, and they claim it's from trading. So, and again, we don't have performance reports. There we go. Yeah, Doritos. Hey, brother, thank you for joining. You can watch the replay. We can hang out some other time. You go to bed, okay? Sorry for doing this so late. I know it's late on the other side of the world. This was the only time that worked for the Real Me team who didn't show up. So that's kind of fun. Let's see. So yeah, so they did 2.78%. It was for last week. That's weekly. They've not put out this most recent week, which I don't know why that is. I don't know how long they take. So I don't really know much about it. I'm working on. There's probably some Ponzi involved in this as well, I assume. But I'm working on getting the team on for an AMA. Have you thought of making your own DeFi crypto site? Yes, I've thought a lot about it. Um, it's yeah. So things I want to do. I want to get more involved in Sleep Money Club. I want to make my training course. I want to. I want to. I've not been focusing much on growing as a YouTube or Twitter influencer. But I've noticed I've kind of hit a plateau a little bit. So I think I've kind of, I'm a big fish in a little pond, which is this DGen DeFi crypto space. And I have 50,000 subscribers. There's probably 50,000 people in the DGen DeFi crypto space, right? And so I'm wanting to maybe branch out a little bit. Not totally sure the best way to do that, but that's something else I want to do. I'm working on some consulting for some companies. I'm joining Finavant to help them with some marketing stuff. So yeah, a lot there. Novatech has been going in business for over 3 years, thinking about getting in myself. Yeah, it's definitely. That's why I put in 2,500. I figured that was kind of a mid amount. Goldbridge, I'm putting in 100K. So obviously, I believe more in that. Yield nodes, I have like at one point I had like 170K. I've started to take out a little bit. It's just too much to have in one place. Um, but yeah. What's the percentage of DeFi founders that you would consider either scammers or morons or clueless idiots in the DGen DeFi space? 90% is fair in my opinion. I would definitely I would make a distinction between scammers, and I wouldn't call them morons, but people who haven't necessarily thought out. It's hard to run a business. Okay, like if you think of the real world, how few businesses are there? Like from every 10 businesses started, probably nine fail. Um, and in the crypto world, it's easier to start a crypto project than a business because you can get funding very easily in crypto. So I would kind of expect at least 9 out of 10 crypto projects to fail. The bummer in crypto projects is usually it's funded by us, like it's crowd funded. And so then it's a bummer when it fails because we just lose all our money. But um, so I wouldn't necessarily call them morons. I would just say it's very difficult and a lot of times these crypto projects aren't even doing anything. They're just doing tokenomic games, right? They're not even, there's no revenue coming in. Um, but yes, scammers. I think there's more clueless idiots than there are scammers, but there's definitely a lot of scammers. So, and that scammers I can steer away from before an AMA. Like I can look at a website and kind of have somewhat of a feel whether it's a scammy website or not. But to know if someone's a clueless idiot, I have to talk to the team. That's why I do a lot of AMAs. Since you have a programming background, do you think about building crypto projects? Yeah, I do a lot. I don't know that this would be the best time to start a crypto project. Um, And I'd have to have a really good idea. I'm not gonna start a tokenomic game for sure. If I do something, I want it to have it's to solve a problem. So one thing I used to do as an entrepreneur, I used to do every day, I would think of 10 problems and then how I could solve those problems. So I would just go through my day and just like any little problem. Like for example, I'm doing a live stream right now. I have to go to the bathroom a little bit, okay? Because I've been drinking tons of water. Okay. So what I used to do was I would write down, have to go to the bath. It's a problem. Okay. It's a small problem, but it's a problem. Have to go to the bathroom while doing a live stream. And then I would try to write down 10 problems every day from my real life. And then I would try to think, is there a solution that I could come up with a product or a service or what could you do to solve that problem? And I used to do that every day. I'd come up with just 10 and then you kind of get an idea, hey, that could be a money maker because what you want to do to make money, you have to solve problems. People pay to solve problems. That's pretty much what um, all money is used to solve problems for the most part. So, are you bullish on the animal farm? If it ever gets back to fully launching, then yes. It's another one of those things where I keep being told it's going to launch, it's going to launch, it's going to launch, and I just get kind of tired of waiting. But if it launches, I think it'll be a good, it'll get be a good. I read the comments again, makes me lose my train of thought. If it'll be a good yield farming place, animal farm. Forex Shark's very smart. I do not like cult following. I don't think that's good. I don't like that. I'd rather have more decentralized than like everybody's following this one person. I just Duquan from Luna kind of turned me off to that. That's what he had with Luna, and it's not working well. Uh, if you see a crypto project and they have no review or doxing, don't invest. They will take your money. Um, yeah, in general, I would say that that is true. There's been I don't know, like I don't know. I've had people dox to me and then still it's not gone well. So, but yeah, in general, I'm kind of agree with you. Crypto has a better success rate than normal business. We are under 90% failure rate. Are we though? Like I don't know what's successful right now that was around 6 months ago. I think you'd be I think we're way over. I think we're probably 95% failure rate in crypto right now. Is what I would say. Yeah, in reality, if they make people lose money, whether they are scammers or clueless idiots, it really doesn't matter. They tend to all give up in the end. Yes. And I do not like that. I do not like when teams just kind of give up, but I understand. So, like Aleph, I understand why they did it because it's like you have some liquidity. They had 400K in liquidity. So it's like, well, and it was draining every day. Okay, liquidity was not going up; it was just going down. So they saw that and they're like, well, we have 400K right now. We could give back, half of people's money. Um, and so then what I didn't like about what Aleph did was they were tweeting before this, look at our chart and things like that. They were making people think, and they were trying to get in new buys because that's what they needed to fill up the liquidity. But I did not like that. It almost seemed like tricking investors. They kind of knew, oh, it's burning, but they kind of told people that the house wasn't on fire. So I didn't like that. Metal pay. I have not heard of that one. That sounds interesting though. I like metal and I like paying. Interesting. I'll definitely look into that one because that's one thing that I want to do is make it easier to send people money. I use Venmo, but I hit the limits all the time, and it's really starting to freak me out. It's really frustrating to me. So I will look into Metal Pay. Thank you for sending that over. Metal Pay. I'm adding a to-do list or to do my to-do list. Look at Metal Pay. Sounds like they'd be a good one for an AMA, right? Metal Pay would be good for an AMA. Um, oh, hold on. I locked up my computer. Okay, there we go. Diapers. Yes, that would be a solution. That might be what I wrote down. I don't. Yeah. Anyways, Forex Shark is a huge disappointment locking up our funds. His way or the highway. Yeah. I mean, in some ways, it was good because I saved a lot of funds because if I had put it somewhere else when everything crashed, I probably would have lost it. Um, but yeah, I don't. I've been disappointed in Animal Farm for sure. 98% failure rate. That's probably what I would see. Forex is a great programmer and builder of protocol infrastructure, but that doesn't mean that the system he's created is sustainable or able to last for more than a year or two. Yeah, it's hard to tell. One thing I'm learning too is uh, don't when people say things confidently. I'm not saying Forex Shark in particular, but when people say things, I used to think that if people said things confidently, it's because they're confident. And I'm finding now that as I've done enough AMAs where people say things confidently that they weren't actually sure about. And um, I don't like that. If I say something confidently, it's because I'm confident about it. If I say something timidly, it's because I'm not sure about it. Okay. So hopefully you can tell the difference. So I'm just finding when people say things confidently, don't just trust them. Look into it more. One thing I struggle with drip in particular, it's my biggest holding, but where does the revenue come from? That's one of the big things I've been learning is, hey, we need some revenue. And not a lot of revenue. Now, again, can something be successful without revenue? Yes. Um, but I would rather have a revenue stream like BioFi. They're bringing in actual revenue. Any projects you'd recommend right now, low initial investment. When it comes to passive income, the things I would recommend right now. Goldbridge, when it opens back up, I would recommend that. I would recommend yield note. Recommend is a strong word. Okay, not financial advice. Recommend is not the right word. So I'll start at lowest return to highest return. I do like somebody else talked about crypto for winners. Crypto for winners, I do really like, but that you it's a 10,000 minimum investment. Okay, so crypto for winners might be out for most people. I really like Freeway, and I consider it fairly safe because it's got lower returns. Um, See a slash. It's nice talking to you, brother. Yield nodes, I do like, and I think it's probably good for a while. Great finance is probably my number one like passive income play right now. Like you can hop into these nodes and get like 1.5% a day, 2% a day if you want to do the Grape Walrus liquidity pool. They just like hold peg like no other Tomb Fork I've seen. TVL is still pretty low, zero. It's not that. It's I think it's probably like 12 million. Um, but yeah, so Grape. Um, I think Drip is probably like a riskier. And again, I'm gonna get hate for this, but like it's just like where do the returns come from? Again, is the challenge that people have. I do like EMP, but it's not going to make you a ton of money. The detonator is going to do pretty well, but the EMP as a whole is not going to make you that much money until we get back on peg. But the detonator will get you probably about 1% for now. Let's see. What else do I really like? Let me look up what I'm in. I do like the idea of buying straight elephant. So I do not like the idea of getting in on trunk, but buying straight elephant I think is probably a decent play right now. Again, just from what their chart looks like, I feel like, and the number of buys to sells, I just feel like that's probably going to go up. And the chart looks pretty good. What else? There's not a lot that I really like. I mean, Horde. I do like Horde. They have a revenue stream, so I like that. I am a little concerned that at some point it's just going to break, and then once it breaks, it's like game over. Like once they lose their peg or whatever you want to call what Horde's doing, it's over. So that's kind of a scary thing. I do like Goldmint, but it's on Ethereum network, so you're going to have to pay a little bit higher fees if you want to use that. They are not on peg, but um, like if you look at some of the nodes, like this has been getting me pretty good returns. This vault here, they have a little bit of a buggy website too, which does make you concerned. Like yeah, I have 6K in here. That's making a percent a day, and I've like 20x actually on Goldmint. So and you might hear that and say, "Oh, I need to get in." He 20x, but 20x means that it 20x in the past. So you like it's not necessarily as good of a time to get in now. There was some other project. Oh, I do like Juicy Fields. The more that I look at it, the more I actually like it. There's another one, My First Plant. So these are, I think, the cannabis industry is going to do really well. So My First Plant, both of these teams, I'm working on getting a AMA with them, but I like both of these. And I heard some people like Keith hates this one, Juicy Fields, but I really like it. Gotta get you my referral code if you want to get involved in Juicy Fields. I really like it. I think it's great. Um, I don't know any other projects that people are excited about. There's not a lot else. Alpha shares, they're about ready to release their is that private. No, I don't think so. They're about ready to release their NFT platform, so I think that will probably be a good one. So let me know if there's any other projects that you guys are in that have been doing well. How do you handle your personal taxes? So I mentioned this before, so if you watch the beginning of this, but um, honestly, I filed an extension, and I have some tax strategies that I'm using Will Duffy, but he helped me in getting an investment together on a movie that's tax deductible, so I'm using that for my gains this year. EMP has this asymmetrical reward whilst earning passive income. Yes, I do. I like the detonator. The only problem with the detonator, somebody just pulled into my driveway. I don't know who that is. But the only problem is with the detonator is I don't want people to be selling their EMP. So if you're in the detonator, you're getting EMP, Ethereum, liquidity pool tokens as your reward, and I don't want you to sell them because it'll hurt peg. So that's a little bit of a challenge. Yes, Enigma, keep spamming. I know I still haven't seen your question. Let's see. I missed a lot of comments. Conflicted about buying. Thoughts on Frozen Walrus? I like Frozen Walrus. I do like it, but just not sure about how their community is going to respond to Peg. Like one thing you're looking for in a Tomb fork is how does the community respond to a very bad situation. So like the markets crashed, right? Like we had one of the worst crypto crashes of all time in May. And you can see it really hurt the EMP community. Now it didn't hurt as bad as it could have. Now I want to show you I like bomb dot money, but let's see. I think that they might be they're going to have to like this is too far off peg probably to come back in my opinion. So they're going to have to kind of change strategy. So they just added nodes, and actually, I like their nodes. Um, I have a bit in their nodes. I can't remember which one, but I think it's given like 2% APR for now. So EMP's responding like Tomb. This is gone. Like Tomb's never going to hit peg again ever. But EMP, this is still close enough where it's like, hey, they might come back. But the grape community, like they in like 3 days, they came back. So that would be this what I'm looking for. Frozen Walrus hasn't proven itself that much yet. It's still newer, so you're gonna get higher APRs, but like, man, they are right. Oh no, they're way above peg. Is that their peg? Where's their peg? Is that their peg? Wow, they're way above peg. Okay, well maybe I should get in there. For some reason, I thought I saw over here, and I thought they were like just barely on peg, but I think I was looking at the USDC price. Now I feel like an idiot. Yeah, Frozen Walrus looks great. 1.4. What's the boardroom printing at? Man, that's not bad. Interesting. Well, I know what I'm going to be doing today. Is this really 510%? Okay, yeah, get into a Frozen Walrus for sure. Let's see. What have I missed? What have I missed from now? Yeah, I'm very conflicted on drip. Do you do one-on-one Zoom calls? I don't usually. Maybe shoot me a Twitter DM or shoot me an email. Some people say I might not get to it for a while, but unfortunately, I just have too many requests for the one-on-one Zoom calls. Like my calendar some days is just like completely filled up. Yes, my tax I didn't know how to handle it. I filed an extension. Um, there's like TaxBit and companies like that that will kind of look through your exchanges and do the best it can to try to figure out your taxes. But yeah, you can go back and listen to my whole talk about it. Eternity earn based upon drip and some of the people in drip are invested. I've not heard of eternity earn. That might be one to look for. People conflate Forex's programming ability with his ability to come up with a money making scheme that can pay out more money than it takes in. Um, yes. Yeah, I just don't know. Like I'll be totally honest. Sometimes I feel like I don't understand how drip works, but everybody talks about how well it's going to do, and so then I'm like maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it is going to do great. Maybe it is going to make millionaires. Um but we call that hopium sometimes where it doesn't make sense but your hopes in it, but even saying that, I'm probably going to there's probably people in the drip telegram right now being like James is hating on drip. Their Telegram group is the worst. And I am very thankful to Drip. Like Drip's been my biggest holding. It's made me a lot of money, but it's the price has gone down. It's hard for me to tell people to get into it. Um, but that's where I'm at. Yeah, I keep forgetting about Dex Finance. How's their check check their how's their peg doing? Honestly, I think the thing about Dex Finance is I think there's too much going on. Like it's honestly it's a little bit confusing. I did an AMA with the team. Oh wow. Yeah, that's great. But I did an AMA with the team and I'm just a little confused as to what goes where. Like I know tune forks very well, right? But I'm like a little confused as to what goes where here. I might have to go back and rewatch my own AMA. Um, TBL, man, it's almost up at where grapes at. Um, that's crazy. So yeah, I should get in on there too. I'm gonna two notes I'm making. I'm looking at Metal Pay. Look into Metal Pay. Get into Walrus. Frozen Walrus. Look at this. I'm learning more than you guys are. Get into Dex Finance. There you go. But am I in too many Tomb Forks? I a lot of Tomb Forks, but they seem to be doing so well. Spooky Miner. Not heard of that one. Do you have a link for that one? Spooky Miner Crypto. This is how I find projects. I could probably go to Twitter. Um, Spooky Miner. Like, just give me a link to Spooky Miner. Well, that's Spooky Rice. Send me a link and I'll check it out. Um, Again, I'm afraid to talk out about Seifu because of how crazy the community is. I don't like Seifu. I'm not a huge again, I'm just not liking the cult followers who like don't when I ask questions, they don't give answers. They're just like, "Oh, Brian will take care of it." And I'm just kind of like, "What do you mean? Like give me some answers. Like what are you talking about?" No, I'm from Lincoln, Nebraska. So US. USA. USA. Yes, rocket fuel is giving about 8% a day. It changes based on um how often you take out or put in, but it's been doing very, very well actually. Honestly, there's a part of me that is like, why did I not just put like way more into rocket fuel? Because it's been printing for me, honestly. What are your thoughts on my first plant? Yeah, I like my first plant, and I like Juicy Fields, and I'm bringing on the teams for an AMA. If Horde loses Peg, it will also affect all the protocols that use their system. Possibly. So how I see their LMS, their liquidity management service, I don't see it as holding Peg forever. What I oh, no, that's not gonna work. What I see it doing is giving you a longer runway until you need a revenue stream. So at some point, you're going to have too many sells to keep up with your buys, and at some point, you're going to need money coming in that faster than the buys coming in. And so what this LMS does, it's not going to last forever. There's no way that this can last forever. They're going to need other revenue streams. But what it can do is it can, again, if we look at the Cubo chart, um, what this could have done for Cubo is, let's see, they're on Polygon. Yeah. What it could have done is if you flatten this pump that Cubo had, what it would have done was if you'd flattened that pump, it would have made the runway longer. So I think we'd probably, if they had used LMS, we'd probably be sitting at, maybe $2 Cubo right now. We'd probably sit at $2 Cubo for a long time instead of letting it pump. If they'd taken all of this revenue and added it to the liquidity, then even though the buys, we have a lot more sells than buys, and we have for a long time on Cubo, the liquidity would last for a lot longer. So I don't consider like what Horde's doing to tell me forever. It just gives you a longer runway, but you need revenue at some point. Cannabis is a gift to God's children. Yeah, I have no problem with cannabis. Honestly, I think alcohol is more dangerous than cannabis, just from my experience in dealing with people and with both substances. Um, I think alcohol is probably more dangerous, and it's definitely more calories. So that's my take on it. Okay, yeah, I'm getting on Dex Finance. PD is nice talking to you. Thanks for stopping by, brother. I love doing this. This is one of my favorite things to do is just hang out with you guys and talk about things. They really know what they're doing. The regulation doesn't print the native token, so their peg is insane. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to. I need to get in there. Why is grape not on your top five? It is. Grape would be in my top five for sure. Are you stacking BTC during this bear market? You know, I am. Talking to excuse me, Keith made me want to just be more, not just close my eyes and buy BTC, but like actually look at the signals and actually like be a little bit more careful with it, you know? So I'm thinking about doing that rather than just buying it. Frozen Walrus lost peg on June 3rd, came back the next day. That's awesome. I know they're related to the grape finance, so that's awesome. What about Piston? So Piston, they're one where they have a revenue stream coming, right? But it's just like it's kind of getting urgent time to get this revenue stream out. And that's where it's like, I just how long can we wait? And if you look at the price, um, let's do 4 hour. I mean, this is not a that's not a chart, right? Like Keith would say, that's not a lot of buy signals there. Here, let's be fair to them. But yeah, there's just not a lot of buy signals, right? Keith would say, don't buy this chart. And then again, you look at here, 64 buys, 455 sells. Okay. And stuff like that. They have a revenue stream coming, but it's like, well, we need it now. Like we can't wait like strong. We're gonna be let's go negative. How would it go negative? Yeah, we're gonna be at -4 by the time this revenue stream comes out. So that's my concern. Where did you purchase your K6 miner? So my K6 miner, I purchased from DeFi Equipment. There's two main miner people that I go to. One is for space mining. I'm just putting the link down here. Tell them that James Pelton sent you, and you'll get their best deal. DeFi Equipment I find is a little bit cheaper. Um, where's DeFi.equipment, and Nathan from there has been super helpful. I can't totally find where it's at. Um, but that's where I bought my KD6. Todd, yes, you're welcome, brother. Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, I'm a huge Christian. That makes me sound like I'm big. No, I love Jesus very much. So I think that we're all sinners, and I know that I am. I've done a lot of wrong things, and have felt that that's makes me not right in God's eyes. But God sent His Son Jesus to die on the cross, and He was right in God's eyes, but He took the penalty for us. So I believe that He's my Savior, that He's alive, He's coming back someday, that the Bible's the Word of God, and that my mission here is to let your light shine before men in such a way that they see your good deeds and they glorify your Father in heaven. So I want people to see how I live my life and say, "Hey, why do you live the way you do?" And I want to tell them, "Hey, because Jesus has changed me." So Jesus rocks. So yes, hope is not a strategy. Yes, and unfortunately, that's where a lot, uh, yeah, that's where a lot of people are at, is just kind of hoping. And you got to be super careful on Twitter, and just be super careful about people saying things with a lot of confidence. Um, yeah, homeschooling. Yeah, so I was homeschooled until high school, and I really enjoyed it. I actually taught myself to program when I was in second grade because I finished school and I was bored. Also, another thing, teach your kids to be bored. Don't let your kids just play video games and just watch TV. Teach them to be bored, because when I was bored as a kid is when I'm like, you know what? Let me try programming. And I taught myself to program because I was bored. And I get worried with my kids too, because like we have a Nintendo Switch and TV and stuff. But I worry if every time they're bored, you let them go, oh, go entertain be entertained, then um, they're not going to teach themselves to program. So I have tried to teach my kids to program, and they're not interested in it. So that is a little bit of a bummer. But your kids are a mixture of you and your spouse. So I'm very interested in programming. My wife is zero interested in programming, and my kids got more of my wife's. I'm still bullish on Rome DAO. I've not looked into that for a while, so I don't know what the price is or anything like that. Um, the game is coming out. Yeah, I'm a little bit over games coming out also, to be honest. There's just people are kind of using that as a buzzword of like, this game's coming out, it's going to save us, and I'm kind of done with that. No, Nope, not unless they get some other big revenue stream, and they have to get rid of the rebasing. Like Sphere is getting rid of rebasing. There's no way. There's just no way to have that high of an APY. Like there's not any buyers. We have no buyers. Yeah, and so if you give people that many tokens to sell, they're gonna just sell them. And so no, they will not make it through crypto winter unless they get a revenue stream, unless they turn off auto compounding and get a revenue stream. They're not gonna make it. Midas Finance. I Somebody else asked me about them. Midas Finance. I don't have thoughts on them. They're just like a. I'll have to look into it. Somebody else asked me about them the other day too, so I'll take a look at it. Let's see. Dex Finance is confusing. They're doing a lot, but really they want you to make your way to Dex ETF. Yeah, that's right. I kind of remember that. So ETF is like their where they're buying Bitcoin and they're buying all sorts of different coins. It's like an ETF for crypto. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Olympus now? Well, I still have a bunch of Olympus. If I can, I've honestly not checked it for a long time. Let me check how much Olympus. So I put in, for those of you who don't know, I put in about 60 or 70K into Olympus. They were one of my first protocols. Does this enter button not work? Oh, you guys can't see my screen. Um, yeah, I read their white paper and I talked with Zeus, their kind of founder, and I was like, man, this is gonna be awesome. Oh, great. Oh, let's try it again. And so I put in like 60K, and because I had a bunch of money. Okay, well, this enter app does not work, at least for me. So I guess we're not going to check it out. But I ended up with a lot of Olympus, and then the price just crashed. I bought it at like 700, and now it's who knows? It's low, 12 maybe, something like that. What are your favorite passive income projects outside of crypto? That's a great question. So my favorites are DLP Capital is a housing fund. The problem when you get outside of crypto is that you have to be an accredited investor for a lot of these. That's the nice thing about crypto is you can get into things without being an accredited investor. So an accredited investor, you have to have $1 million net worth or 200K income for the last 2 or 3 years or something like that. So I love DLP Capital. It's a housing fund. Makes about 12% annually, but you can't get in unless you're an accredited investor. Masterworks, which actually I'm bringing on someone from the Masterworks team to my channel. It's kind of my way to help branch out of crypto, but they sell artwork, and some of this artwork, appreciates at like 22%. I believe you have to be an accredited investor here also, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but I really like that. Yeah, like some of these, 32% is what they got on this. Uh Annually. So I mean, this is a good I really like this. Investing in art has always kind of been a good thing. What else outside of Goldbridge, which we talked about. I think that's a really, really big one. Let me think, what else do I really like? Retail. Hold on, let me find the website before I retail. I think it's Retail E-commerce Adventures. Ty Lopez. How many of you are familiar with Ty Lopez? But what he does is he buys up um like at-risk brands. So like Radio Shack, when they were about to go bankrupt, he swooped in and bought them for pennies on the dollar. Dress Barn, Steinmart, Pier One, and then he takes them online. You may need to be an accredited investor for this as well. Can't remember for sure, but yeah, so he's bought Radio Shack, Dress Barn, Steinmart, bodybuilding.com he just bought, Pier One, Linens and Things. I mean, he's bought all these, and you can invest, and it probably gets me about 20% annual return investing with them through with Ty. So that's the website, Retail E-commerce Adventures, but you might need to be accredited for it. Trying to think what I'm in, Fundrise. I don't think you need to be accredited for that. Um, but honestly, it's one of the reasons that, yeah, I don't believe you need to be accredited for Fundrise. It's basically like REITs, so real estate investment trusts, maybe. Um, but that's part of why I like crypto is because you don't need to be. It's always driven me crazy in traditional finance that only rich people can get in on the good things. It drives me crazy. So there's not a ton you can do unless you're an accredited investor, because the SEC regulates everything very, very hard. Um, yeah, Felipe says your AMA with BT this week was the most painful I have attended. He was unprepared, yelling, raising voice, laughing oddly. Total disaster. Yeah, it was strange. Um, it was very strange, I would say. Yeah, one thing about BT, he's one of the smartest people I've ever talked with, and he is recovering from illness as well. So Mogadi, I definitely appreciate how genuine you are. Yeah, thank you. I try to. That's really, the most I can do. So let's see what else we got. I probably shouldn't stay too much longer here. Yes. So PAX G, and that's actually what Goldmint does. Goldmint is a tomb fork pegged to PAX G. So PAX G, for those of you who aren't familiar, is a coin that is um, basically pegged to the price of gold-backed crypto. And Goldmint is a tomb fork pegged to PAX G. And it's not been close to peg, but it's still given pretty good returns. Honestly, about 1.5% APR. It would be cool to have the artwork project partner with BioFi. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be neat. Ty is awesome. Yeah, yeah, he's a genius marketer. I don't like everything that he's doing because yeah, yeah. Sometimes I sometimes like I'll hop on a meeting with him. I get to talk to him personally, and sometimes I hop on a meeting with him, and he'll be like on a treadmill for our meeting, and I'm like, man, you couldn't have hopped off the treadmill for our meeting. Oh yeah, and that's a good point. Yeah, thank you. You guys are bringing up some good things. Yeah, so Juicy Fields for non-crypto stuff, I do like Juicy Fields, but I've not talked with the team yet. Looking to do that soon. And then yes, I bonds. If you have not heard of I bonds, go look them up. So these are direct from the U.S. Treasury. The max you can do is $10,000, but basically they give inflation. So right now they're giving 9.62% return. Okay, so that's very good. I would do this if you have 10,000 extra dollars before you put it in the stock market. I would put it into an I bond. Like you might as well put 10K into an I bond, get this 9.62%. Um, that's pretty. I mean, the safest 10% return you'll ever have. Now, people look at this and say, "Wow, that's awesome." But the reason it's so high is because it's based on inflation, and inflation is super high. Okay. So, but it's definitely better than keeping it in the bank. So before you keep $10,000 in the bank, buy an I bond for up to $10,000. It's the U.S. government backed, so it's the safest thing you're going to find. Um, so that's my take on it. So yeah, thank you. I think I'm going to go ahead. Does anybody have any last minute questions here before I hop off? Actually, we're going to visit. Should I be concerned, James? I didn't shill Novacek to you. Now that you did a video and through Shade Its Way, should I be concerned now that you did a video on them? I've not done a video on them yet. I'm working on. I want to talk to the team. It'd be pretty worthless for me to just hop in there and bumble my way through what they're doing. But if I can get the team on for an AMA, I don't know much about it. Okay, 3% a week. That seems like pretty high returns. They've been doing it for a while, so you feel better about that. But I don't know about it. I have 2,500 in with them, but that's about the confidence level I put in it was $2,500. What programming language are you most proficient in? PHP is kind of my go-to. So PHP, JavaScript. I mean, I'm old school. I haven't programmed for a while. Like when mobile text alerts got to a certain point, I hired a programmer, and I haven't done any programming really since then. So don't forget to add Island Project. Okay, I'm adding it to my list. MetalPay, Frozen Walrus, Dex Finance, and Island Project. Do you have a link for that, Nicholas? I Trust Capital. Actually, it's funny enough that you mentioned I Trust Capital. I have a video coming out on I Trust Capital. Yes. If now I Trust Capital basically just lets you make trades as part of the IRA. So it's really, it's not like a money maker in and of itself. Robot voice. Oh, I need to figure out why this happens. Some people think it's because I don't have enough power coming to this mic. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Yeah, some people think that it's thank you guys for letting me know. How does it sound now? I think you guys were delayed about 6 seconds, so does it sound good now? Can you hear me now? Okay, I unplugged it, plugged it back in. That fixes it. I think it might be not enough power, maybe. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Yeah, send me a link, Nicholas, to the Island Project. Love to take a look at that. Yeah, I Trust Capital. It lets you use an IRA to make your investments. So it doesn't really make you money in and of itself, but it helps you with taxes. The I bond is actual alpha. Yeah, the 10% annually, pretty much risk free. Now, I mean, it might make more sense. The real estate market, it's hard to know. I think Fundrise, you can probably get 12% annually, maybe not that high. Maybe it's 8 or 9%. Masterworks, you could definitely get 12 to 15 to 20%. You may need to be an accredited investor. I can't remember for sure. So would you think we will see BTC at 10K this year? I don't think so, but I didn't think we'd see 20K either. So I don't know. I'm not doing a video with $100. What I'm gonna do, this is coming out tomorrow, actually. So here's some alpha. I'm gonna do 4 wallets starting at $500. I'm gonna do 1 in Grape, 1 in the Detonator, 1 in Drip, and 1 in Yield Nodes, I think is what I decided. And just gonna let them run and then see, just do every few weeks, gonna do an update on it and kind of see how it goes. What do you think about Bloomify? I love the team. I've been talking a lot to the team. They want me to be more involved, but I just have my eyes on other things, so I haven't. I told them, but I like the team a lot. And Jeremy from Expedition DeFi, he's very big on them. So yeah, I really like them. Shisha Finance, I've not looked into that. I'll have to look into that. How do you feel about Planet Watch? Bad. Can you see I have 2 Planet miners, but I don't even run them. It's not worth it. In fact, I don't think I can get the licenses even to get the tokens for them. So, okay, I think I'm gonna go now. I think my wife's grandparents want to grill, and they might even be waiting on me to get there. So I should probably go. But yeah, thank you guys for hopping on. Please hit a like on your way out. I love doing this. I would like to do it more often if you guys are up for it. So, and thank you for the great questions, great discussion topics. Yeah, hope that let me know if there's things I can help you with, not even just financially. Like I have a really strong desire to just I don't know, just help, especially young men, just do better in life and just be happier and have more peace. And so financially, I want to help, but in other things too. Like I'm not stuck in crypto. There's real world things that I'm into as well. Wait, Enigma, what was your question? I swear I did not ever see it. I will answer your question because you've been asking about it for a long time. I don't see it. Maybe it's getting deleted. Are you putting a bad word in it or something? I do not see your question anywhere. I just see you saying, how come you're not answering my question? Enigma, let me know. I will answer your question as I close off here. No, I'm scrolling through Enigma. Your question is not on here anywhere. I think it's getting auto deleted for some reason. If it's too long or it has something's wrong with it, it won't show up for me. That's so funny. Because I swear I'm hitting pretty much everything. Yeah, thank you to the audience, Matt. You're definitely right. Mike, when you're single, please let me know. You'll be the first to know. Tello says, next time find these guys for the AMA. That's a good idea. I honestly, I still have not heard from them. I don't know if they've what the deal is. Still haven't heard anything. If they just don't check their email, I would have tweeted them, but they don't have Twitter. I could go LinkedIn them or something. What off-ramp to bank do you recommend? Okay, there you go. That's the short version. Yeah, I use Binance. And I don't hold things on Binance, but I just transfer BNB to Binance. And then I have it ACH hooked up to my bank, so I can withdraw 5K a day, which is enough. I don't normally need to withdraw more than that. So yeah, I just send BNB. I turn whatever I need into BNB or AVAX. That's one nice thing about Binance.us is that it can take whatever currency you have pretty much. And I got to get my referral link for Binance also. I have that too. Yeah, there you go. And then I just transfer whatever's there, sell it for dollars, and then withdraw it. So yeah, perfect. Awesome. Yes. And I would get stuff off of KuCoin. I wouldn't hold stuff on Binance either, personally. Binance is probably in the best shape of any of the exchanges just because they have so much capital. FTX also has a lot of spare money, a lot of spare investors, but that's my take. So 2 hours, we will go ahead and close it there. So I appreciate all you guys. Please hit the like button on your way out. Appreciate you guys very, very much. Yeah, let me know if you have suggestions, other things that you'd like to talk about or anything like that. I'd love to, even if it's outside of crypto. Again, looking to expand my channel a little bit. And so really up for whatever would be helpful for you. But yeah, appreciate you guys and hope you all have a good rest of your night. Or if you're in on the other side of the world, hope you have a good sleep. If you're in Australia, I hope you have a good day. And if you're anywhere else, yeah, just appreciate you guys. Hit like on your way out. Thanks.